I was an adjunct lecturer at Boston University for 4 years, teaching screenwriting. I just loved filmmaking. It was a passion. In the summer of 2011, I was hired by Montana State University. It had everything I wanted, both the film production as well as screenwriting. As I was getting ready to pack, I felt a slight pull in my leg, as if I got a muscle cramp. It just hurt a little bit.
We thought it was just from him lifting heavy boxes.
After I got to Montana, that muscle pull got a little worse. Every day it felt more and more painful, and it got really bad. By the time my classes started, I could barely walk. I went in that Friday to a doctor. The doctor found that my oxygen levels were down. He decided that I needed to be on a ventilator. I thought it's not normal to have to be on a ventilator for a muscle cramp. By the time my brother and Angel arrived, I was in a coma. Everything shut down. I had complete organ failure. Kidney failure, spleen failure, liver failure. I had heart failure 3 times and had to be revived. I gained about 80 pounds of fluid in 2 days due to the amount of liquid that the doctors were putting into me to keep me alive. They stabilized me enough to transport me to another hospital. That was when doctors began to see problems with my skin.
His legs, you could see that there was no blood flow.
The doctors made a diagnosis of necrotizing fasciitis. I began to come out of my coma. I tried to first move my hands and my feet. It was impossible. They unwrapped my hands and showed me a blackened, mummified hand. It was dead. Because the infection would spread and eventually reach my organs, the only way to cure it is by cutting it out. The doctors needed to amputate. What I didn't quite realize was that I was facing losing a lot more. I felt as if I were slipping into a terrible nightmare. I didn't know how I was going to live. I didn't know whether Angel would stay with me. When I first saw myself in a mirror, I was confused and saddened. It was as if I were looking at a complete stranger.
Though Will lost all of his limbs due to this flesh-eating disease, his unyielding spirit pushed him to pursue a groundbreaking new medical procedure.
My twin brother imagined that I wouldn't have much of a life at all as a quadrilateral amputee. When I was still in the ICU, people sent me articles about a breakthrough surgery. This surgery represented the best chance I had of regaining my function.
Surgery itself takes between 9 and 12 hours. Will's surgery involves at least 35 staff, and this includes at least 13 surgeons. Matching for Will's surgery includes size, color, and gender of the limbs, as well as making sure that there are no major injuries. The matching includes looking at the blood type, which is where we make sure that Will does not have antibodies against the transplant itself. The donor arms are trimmed to the appropriate lengths. The bones are joined together with metal plates and screws, and the arteries joined together with very small stitches under the microscope. The muscle and the veins, as well as the nerves, are all brought together one structure at a time. The limbs are then sewn together with a zigzag incision in order to minimize contraction.
As you can see, I did end up as a quadrilateral amputee, except that you can't see that.